So at the Game Awards, we got a brand new trailer for Sonic Frontier, and I personally do not really care about Sonic. I'm not a huge Sonic fan, but what's interesting about this trailer is that it's the first time we're actually seeing Sonic Frontier, and on the Sonic Frontier website, they announced that Sonic is at Starfall Islands. Now, way back in 2019, there was a leak about Sonic Frontier that stated in his next adventure, Sonic would be at a place called Starfall Island. Obviously, a super specific detail. They definitely had some sort of insider information into Sega just so they could know that, because I mean that's just so random. It's such an odd detail to specifically call out. And that same leak also mentioned Mario Odyssey 2. That's right, one of Mario's coolest adventures in the past decade, Mario Odyssey, might be getting a sequel. And in this video I want to talk about what was leaked for the game and see how realistic this might be. What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switch Shop, and let's take a look at this Mario Odyssey 2 leak. First thing I want to talk about is that apparently this one will have multiplayer. Supposedly, Luigi will be a playable character, and he will have Cappy's best friend Bowler as his, I guess, Cappy sidekick. This all makes complete sense. I honestly am surprised that Mario Odyssey never got updated with multiplayer. Recently, you might have seen some content about mods for Mario Odyssey that kind of give it true online multiplayer, and with Nintendo recently actually being pretty pro online multiplayer, which is something they didn't normally do. Like, we got Super Mario 3D World, which has online multiplayer. They updated Super Mario Party, and of course Mario Party Superstars has online multiplayer at launch. I remember just a couple of years ago, that would have all been, I mean, that was wild. Like, Nintendo just didn't do online multiplayer in this style, so I would not be surprised at all if Mario Odyssey 2 doesn't just have multiplayer, but has online multiplayer as well. Next up, the leak says that Mario Odyssey 2 will have 20 plus new locations. Let's just assume that, like, there's just 20 new locations. That is an absurd amount. I would consider saying Mario Odyssey has 13 kingdoms. I'm not really going to count Dark Side, Darker Side, or the Ruined and Cloud Kingdoms, because those are really just either arenas for boss fights or one specific, like, level. I don't know. I wouldn't really count those. I'll count all the other ones though. So think of all the content in Mario Odyssey and the fact that that was able to fit into 13 kingdoms, and they're saying this would have over 20? I mean, just, that's absurd. This game would have so much content. It would not surprise me if Mario Odyssey 2 had damn near double the amount of content than Mario Odyssey. Because let's think about it, Mario Odyssey took 3 years in development, and I'm sure a substantial amount of that was on creating the engine, creating the Cappy gimmick, and all that stuff. If Mario Odyssey 2 comes out towards the end of 2022, it would have had 5 years in development, assuming they started it right after Mario Odyssey 1, and they wouldn't have even had to make the engine and all that stuff because obviously they could have just reused the one from Mario Odyssey 1. That means Nintendo would have so much time to just be working on the, like, actual content itself, the sub areas, the kingdoms, the captures. All the actual content would be the main focus of their development, and they'd have more time than Mario Odyssey 1 took. Just think of the boss fights, think of the captures. There were so many Mario enemies that you couldn't capture in Mario Odyssey 1 just because, I mean, they gave us, you know, they gave us the Goomba, they gave us the Bullet Bill, they gave us some of the most iconic Mario enemies, but we couldn't get, like, the really weird ones that I thought would be so interesting. Like, you could capture Bowser, but only in one specific part in, like, the final boss. I guess spoilers for that, but the game's, like, 5 years old now, come on. What if you could capture Bowser and just go around, like, every kingdom? What if you could capture a Boo? Or capture a Koopa Troopa and kind of use its shell like you could in 3D World? The capture mechanic from Mario Odyssey has so much potential, and Odyssey definitely did not, you know, it scratched the surface of that potential, but it definitely did not max it out. We did not see the most creative Nintendo can get with the capture mechanic within Mario Odyssey. A lot of Odyssey was just go to this kingdom, learn about this capture, use it in a boss fight, and then, you know, that's that. For example, in the Sand Kingdom Ruins, that's where we really, you know, got to use the Bullet Bill capture. The Bullet Bill capture was a huge part of that, and then in the Sand Kingdom boss, it was essentially a Bullet Bill capture. You would capture the dude's hands and then drive the hands into the face. Or in the Wooded Kingdom, you would use those uproots a lot. They were, you know, heavily focused in that kingdom, and then you used the uproots to defeat the boss. That weird, like, flower UFO thing. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think that was great. It worked out well for the first Mario Odyssey game because you didn't want to overwhelm the player if you're Nintendo. I mean, you're essentially giving Mario like 10 times the amount of moves because you can just capture someone and then have a completely different move set. So it made sense from a game design perspective to kind of limit, like, okay, there's 3 main captures in this kingdom, and you'll use them to defeat the boss, and then you really won't touch them again unless you come back and revisit this kingdom. I think in Mario Odyssey 2, the kingdoms will be a lot more populated with different types of enemies, so it's not just like, oh, you can get this capture in this kingdom, but then this capture in this kingdom. They should put almost every type of capture in every kingdom. Then there could be so many different unique interactions that we just did not get in Mario Odyssey 1. I don't know, there's so much that this game could have, so that about wraps it up for what the leak said. The leak said there's going to be, over 20 kingdoms, a ton of different types of captures. There's going to be online multiplayer, there's going to be actual multiplayer this time too. All of that stuff just gets me so excited, and I want to let you guys know that we will be covering Mario Odyssey 2 extensively from here on out, regardless of whether or not this leak is fake, because we don't know, nothing's ever confirmed. Although it is very good looks that they got that Starfall bit right, because that was just, like, I mean, come on, you could only really guess that if you had insider info. Regardless, we will be covering Mario Odyssey extensively, because regardless on whether or not this leak is right, I think we can all agree that there will be a brand new 3D Mario soon, and I think most people believe it will be in Odyssey 2. Regardless of what it is, whether it's Galaxy 3, Odyssey 2, or something different entirely, we'll be covering it here on Switched Up, so make sure to subscribe. And with that all out of the way, I'm Thomas from the Switched Up, signing off. Peace.